Are you obtaining the maximum value from your company's technology and governance assets? Struggling to audit the value of assets? Finding difficulties in analyzing the risk and optimizing resources? Don't worry. COBIT Framework has its role in resolving all the problems in the industry, so today in this session, we will discuss the COBIT Framework and its benefits. So without further delay, let's get started. Before starting with the session, let's discuss the agenda first. We will start the session with, what is COBIT? Then we will further discuss the framework of COBIT. After that, we will discuss the components of the COBIT framework, then we will discuss, what is COBIT5? Followed by the principles of COBIT5. Post that, we will understand the benefits of COBIT5. Further, we will discuss the advantages of COBIT5 certification. Finally, we will conclude the session with an example of COBIT5 implementation. Sounds interesting, right? Hi guys, this is Eric from Invensis Learning. Welcome to our YouTube channel. If you are not subscribed to our channel yet, please subscribe to our channel for the latest videos, and click on the bell icon for regular updates. And for any course inquiry, feel free to reach out to us on our website, invensislearning.com. Our first topic for today's session is, what is COBIT? COBIT is an acronym for Controlled Objectives for Information and Related Technologies. COBIT is the acronym, but our primary question of what is COBIT remains unanswered. So let's find the solution to what is COBIT? COBIT is a framework designed by ISACA to handle information technology management and IT governance. Furthermore, this framework is mainly focused on business and defines the generic process for IT management. It can be an audit, or it can be the handling of project governance. COBIT will have a solution to it. This framework includes the defined process with inputs, outputs, and key activities. Along with these, it also oversees the performance measures and objectives of the process. This is all about the definition of COBIT. Before going into detail, let us discuss the history of COBIT. ISACA first released the COBIT framework in 1996. Its main objective is to derive control measures to assist the financial audit community in better maneuvering IT-related environments. With the huge success and demand for COBIT, ISACA found the scope to expand the framework beyond auditing. In 1998, ISACA released a broader version of COBIT, which further expanded with the management guidelines in 2000. With the increase in standardization, ISACA released COBIT version 4 and 4.1 in 2005 and 2007, respectively. In these versions, ISACA added the components of the business process and the responsibilities in defining the value. An extension to this version 4.1, ISACA released the fifth version of COBIT, popularly known as COBIT5. This is all about the history of COBIT and the role of ISACA. Now, we will discuss more on the COBIT framework. What is COBIT framework? COBIT is a business orientation, which links the business goals with the available resources by providing various metrics used to measure the business's success. This framework is evolved into various better versions. In version 4.1, which was released in 2007, defined with the process-based model, that is further subdivided into 4 specific domains. They are: planning and organization, delivering and support, acquiring and implementation, then finally monitoring and evaluation. These 4 domains are further divided into 34 specific lines of responsibilities. With all these domains and processes, COBIT has high standards in the global business frameworks. Various international standards recognize it, including ITIL, Prince2, and PMBOK. We have seen the overview of COBIT and its framework. Now, let us understand the components of the COBIT framework in detail. Components of COBIT framework? There are 5 main components of COBIT. They are COBIT framework, process descriptions, management guidelines, maturity models, and control objectives. COBIT framework. The COBIT framework is intended to assist enterprises in organizing and categorizing all of their IT governance objectives. It also assists businesses in adhering to IT best practices and integrating them with overall business requirements. Process descriptions. These descriptions give businesses a process model and a consistent language for all departments within the enterprise. Management guidelines. These guidelines are used to designate job roles and duties for IT governance. This assists in creating a consistent structure throughout the organization, allowing departments to collaborate and agree on their business objectives and monitor overall success. The rules also demonstrate COBIT's interaction with all other processes in the company. Maturity models in COBIT are used better to understand each process's capability and maturity level and address any discovered gaps. Control objectives. The control objectives defined in the COBIT framework provide businesses with certain standards to manage their IT operations control in the enterprise properly. This is all about the components of the COBIT framework. Now, let us discuss what COBIT5 is. What is COBIT5? After evolving COBIT into different versions, in 2012, ISACO released its fifth version of COBIT framework, popularly known as the COBIT5. Earlier to the release of COBIT5, there used to be a lot of criticisms on all the versions of COBIT. So that, this framework is used to facilitate limited opportunities. Later, COBIT5 maintained and encouraged organizations to govern and manage information in a more integrated manner. COBIT5 Principles plays a major role in the success of the COBIT5 framework. COBIT5 was defined with a few principles. They are: meeting stakeholder needs, taking a holistic approach to governance, covering the entire project, single integrated framework, creating a difference between governance and management. For more information on COBIT5 and its certification, reach out to us on our website, invensislearning.com. We have seen the history of COBIT5. Now, let us start with the COBIT5 principles in detail. COBIT5 principles are crucial in creating an environment focused on effective IT management and governance. Meeting stakeholder needs. The objective for all businesses is to meet the demands of their stakeholders. While preserving maximum data security, COBIT supports this change and assists businesses in developing plans to help them achieve their objectives. This procedure is divided into 3 stages. First, organizations must enhance their resource management, while also gaining the advantages of their resources. At the same time, the third aspect in this situation is the risks that it implies. COBIT helps firms achieve a balance of all 3 variables. This process includes managing all stakeholders' requirements, even conflicting ones, through appropriate governance, decision-making, and negotiation so that the result delivers value. Our next principle of COBIT5 is taking a holistic approach to governance. IT governing is more than simply the IT department. It must cover the entire organization, which COBIT does. Therefore, one of the guiding principles of COBIT is to approach governance comprehensively, collaborating with IT, auditing, and management to develop effective and enterprise-wide governance through the use of certain enablers. These enablers are organized into 5 major categories and may be used to all divisions within an organization. Principles and policies. Structures within the company. All the information and data. Processes of the company. Competencies and skills of the employees. Our next principle is covering the entire project. When it comes to governance, COBIT is equally focused on addressing the entire project as a whole. It combines IT services and procedures with business processes to provide a platform that integrates IT and enterprise governance. COBIT has 4 key aims here. Creating value via governance. Successfully utilizing enablers. Assigning roles and duties, and deciding the scope of each project. Then our next principle is single integrated framework. COBIT is a single integrated framework that addresses all technological developments, manages risks, and governs information. It always encompasses the whole company. COBIT may also be customized to meet the demands of any organization while maintaining compliance with regulatory standards. Creating a difference between governance and management. Governance and management require separate structures to manage since they have different goals, responsibilities, and activities. COBIT integrates them, and simultaneously separates them via the use of different frameworks. For governance purposes, COBIT uses the EDM method, which is to evaluate, direct, monitor. For management purposes, COBIT uses the PBRM method, which is plan, build, run, monitor. These all are the principles of COBIT5, which is used to help organizations address all problems faced in IT governance. Are you interested to learn more about COBIT5 principles? Then, subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay tuned for the latest videos on COBIT. COBIT5 helps digital transformation by allowing businesses to respond quickly and easily to risks, interruptions, or changes. Digital transformation is all about maximizing the use of technology and processes to help businesses succeed. The growth of COBIT has introduced numerous helpful improvements in how IT teams function in a business throughout time. So let us discuss the benefits of COBIT5. Benefits of COBIT 5. Strategic alignment. One of the most significant strategic benefits of implementing COBIT 5 in an organization is the proper alignment of all business and IT-related initiatives. Professionals utilize COBIT 5 to connect IT with the company's broader strategic business goals. Companies must learn how to manage their IT department and processes more efficiently. Because, in today's age of digital transformation, managing a company's IT is almost as important as managing the organization itself. This is especially true for larger companies. Because many enterprise-wide operations are dependent on IT. Using COBIT, organizations can easily identify and eliminate any gaps in achieving the company's goals. Now, let us discuss governance and its benefits. Governance. Another significant advantage of COBIT 5 for businesses is that it successfully executes all IT governance standards throughout the organization. As a result, companies may use COBIT 5 to ensure that all IT-related risks are greatly reduced successfully. COBIT imposes several controls and safeguards on the IT department. This guarantees that all procedures, particularly those related to digital transformation, are implemented and constantly reviewed. When COBIT 5 is implemented, one of the key reasons COBIT is effectiveness in each business cycle is extensively examined and monitored to increase control and establish a more comprehensive IT governance in the organization. Scalability. All COBIT principles are widely acknowledged across the world. They use COBIT 5 tools and techniques to enhance the efficiency and effectiveness of an organization's IT processes. It applies to nearly every industry and business area, regardless of size. COBIT is completely scalable. Even if the organization decides to grow or shrink in size, all governance concepts associated with COBIT 5 will remain applicable. Auditing. When it comes to IT governance, one of the topics that COBIT 5 addresses are compliance management. This is critical for businesses to ensure that they follow all of the regulations to avoid being penalized. COBIT helps companies strengthen their information security and guarantees that they remain compliant with all laws and regulations. Industry standards. COBIT's policies and procedures guarantee that businesses adhere to established industry standards. This is advantageous to the organization's stakeholders. Employees have a better awareness of all the industry benchmarks. They may then utilize this information to enhance their service, resulting in a more efficient working environment. Clients and vendors may be certain that their data is safe and in good quality, resulting in higher stakeholder satisfaction. Overall, COBIT 5 improves organizational efficiency by incorporating all of the industry standards that come with COBIT. These all are the key benefits of using COBIT 5. However, to use COBIT 5 to its full benefit, IT teams and departments need to be thoroughly trained. After that, they will successfully implement all the required changes to deliver the best results. So let us understand the details of COBIT 5 certifications and various courses that professionals take to ace this framework. COBIT 5 certifications. Let us discuss the certifications offered by COBIT 5. ISACA's COBIT 5 qualifications recognize holders as among the best qualified enterprise IT governance experts in the world. ISACA offers 3 main certifications on COBIT 5. They are COBIT 5 Foundation, COBIT 5 Implementation Exam, COBIT 5 Assessor Exam. Now, let's try to understand the details of certifications in detail. COBIT 5 Foundation. Holders of the COBIT 5 Foundation certification understand the COBIT principles and concepts. Holders understand the IT management concerns that businesses face today and apply COBIT to address these issues. These specialists have utilized COBIT elements in practice and are qualified to suggest COBIT solutions for enterprise-wide initiatives. COBIT 5 Implementation Exam. COBIT 5 implementation validates holders' ability to comprehend and implement COBIT 5 components across a business. These experts have mastered the strategy of establishing governance of enterprise information technology or GEIT, based on a life cycle of continuous improvement. In addition, these people have proven knowledge of how COBIT 5 should be adjusted to meet particular demands. COBIT 5 Assessor Exam. COBIT 5 Assessor certification indicates proficiency in understanding and carrying out a formal process capability assessment. Holders ensure stronger, more reliable, and consistent control over internal processes, and provide stakeholders with a clear line of sight into process capabilities, allowing IT leaders to redirect or liberate resources. These are the major certifications of COBIT 5 offered by ISACA. For more information on certification, exam format, and most importantly, training, do enroll with our course at Invensis Learning. The link is given in the description. Let us conclude this session with the use case of COBIT5. Assessing IT governance maturity, the case of San Marcos, Texas. Purpose. People's interactions are being radically altered by information technology. Cities are no exception. Cities, like other companies, incorporate information technology into every operation to offer services. Because of the increasing use of technology, cities must examine IT governance maturity to guarantee good organizational practices and IT alignment with organizational goals and objectives. Cities may enhance practices and IT alignment by analyzing IT governance and developing performance criteria for the future. This study evaluates the city of San Marcos, Texas's IT governance maturity and makes recommendations to improve IT governance. Procedure. In examining the IT governance maturity of the city of San Marcos, this study used a case study methodology. The study is based on the well-known COBIT IT governance framework. As a reduced framework for assessing IT governance maturity, the case study employs just 9 of the 34 COBIT goals. Structured interviews with personnel of the San Marcos Information Technology Department are used in the research. The study also makes use of pertinent documentation that was gathered and assessed using document analysis. Results. The findings show that the city of San Marcos has several processes in place that match the IT governance framework's maturity standards. Even though the city of San Marcos has not developed or implemented an IT governance framework, many of the procedures in place correspond to the principles specified in the COBIT IT governance framework goals. As San Marcos grows and prospers, it may better use its IT resources by enhancing IT governance. COBIT5 provides businesses with various metrics and maturity models to work with and monitor their progress. This assists businesses in meeting their business goals and objectives while staying ahead of their colleagues and competition. In addition, COBIT highlights all business and IT processes' responsibility for improving and maintaining high-quality information. I hope this video helps you understand the COBIT5 framework. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments section. Our experts will guide you through. This is Eric from Invensis Learning signing off.